Today I want to talk about customer-supplier relationships, how you deal with your vendors. I always appreciated the relationships that I had with my vendors. I always knew that that is part of what gave me a competitive edge early on when I didn't have a lot of money and I didn't have a lot of business. If I could get a part for $75 that nobody else could get for less than $200, that meant that I could charge $200 for the service and other people would simply look like, is it even worth bothering offering this? He's offering the service for what we would have to pay just for the part. And this allowed me to jump ahead in a couple of areas, and it really allowed me to capitalize on the weaknesses of some other shops, and it allowed me to start building a client base and getting some money so that I could actually start expanding early on. And it was because I had good supplier relations, good vendor relations. I spent a couple of hours every night talking to vendors in China and Taipei and even domestically. I spent time building relationships with these people. And it wasn't until I became a supplier that I started to realize just how bad so many fucking domestic repair shops are at dealing with vendors. And I want to talk a little bit about that. The first thing I want to talk about is trust. A lot of customers will go nuts when they get a bad part or the wrong part and the vendor doesn't overnight you a new one and send back the old one. With a return label. They just go crazy when that happens. And I want to explain a little bit about how this works, because this is something that I used to be angry at too. But I've noticed since starting a supply company why it is a lot of these vendors do that. A lot of people go on eBay to buy a part and they expect VIP service, but they go to a bottom-feeding, peddling marketplace and then they expect this VIP service. As it's like walking through that part of Midtown where everybody's selling counterfeit handbags and wondering why you can't return it 90 days later because you don't want it. It's kind of ridiculous, and that's how I feel about eBay when repair shops will buy things off eBay and then wonder why they don't get this VIP service afterwards. A great statistic from 2011 from my supply business: out of 100 eBay RMAs, I got 14 of them back. Out of those 14 I got back, 11 of them actually worked perfectly. So my business, to try to minimize RMAs, only sold grade A screens, which is one of the reasons I don't even bother selling on eBay or Amazon right now. It is not possible in November of 2013 to make money selling a grade A product on eBay, at least in this particular industry. You're just not going to get any sort of sales volume competing with all these businesses that are purchasing A- or sorted A- goods. But I digress. I had 100 returns. What I would do is I would overnight you the new screen, and I wouldn't make you email me, I wouldn't make you print a new label. I would include the label in the box with a note very carefully. Out of those 100 RMAs, 14 people decided to be honest enough or not lazy enough to actually send the old one back to me. And this says something. And out of those 14 that people claim were bad, only 3 of them actually didn't work. Only 3 of them were actually not what the person ordered or something that didn't work. And I'm sure that when you start dealing with even more and more people than I was dealing with, this kind of starts to get to you and you notice a pattern and you notice a trend. And you learn that when you're in these peddling marketplaces like eBay and Amazon, that it's really hard to trust the customer. And what I used to think is, well, if you're selling stuff, that's just a risk you have to take. But when I got into it more and more and I noticed I'm buying this thing for $38, I have to pay freight to get it to America, and I have to sell it at $51 in free shipping in order for it to actually sell, and eBay and PayPal take 10%, and I have to pay for shipping to you, and I have to pay a staff, I'm probably making 80 cents to maybe $1, maybe $2 off of this sale. So that means that 15 sales have to go off like this without a hitch to match even one motherfucker that doesn't send the old one back. If I get screwed by one person I send an advanced RMA to, 15 sales that were profitable literally go right down the drain. So when you think of it this way, it's kind of easier to understand why you're not getting this type of VIP treatment. And I always like to say, throw the problem back in somebody else's face. And what I did to myself when I was expecting this treatment was think, why do I expect this type of treatment from a supplier who doesn't know me? Why don't I go out there and try to get vendor relationships going where I can actually ask for an advanced RMA, where I can actually ask them, can you send me this stuff before I pay for it? Right now, at this time, If I need 200 of something that's maybe $100 or $200 a piece, I can ask at least 50% of the people on my vendors list for it, and they'll just go ahead and send it. I can even suffix my comment with, I need this on credit because I'm broke right now. They can even know that my financial situation is bad, and I can tell you that 50% of my vendors wouldn't think twice before sending me all of the things that I need, because I have a long-standing personal relationship with all of these people. For example, last year, nobody had 11-inch MacBook Air screens, and I was able to get them about 2 months before every major company in the US had them. And when they finally all had them, I started getting them, but I was getting them at high 20s to low 30s while they were still paying 60, 70, and 80 for it. And I want to explain why this happened. I want to explain why a 23-year-old broke college dropout was able to get opportunities that multi-million-dollar acquisitions and liquidation companies were missing out on. It's because those companies treat their vendors with strictly business. It's all business. How can we get this cheaper? How can we get this faster? Can you reply to my email faster? Here's our purchase order. When can you get us this stuff? Whereas I treat my vendors like people. At night, if I have nothing to buy, I go, hey, how's it going? Oh, you seem kind of sad tonight. What's going on? Oh, I heard that you had a kid. What's going on with that? Oh, so what did you do yesterday for fun after you left work? Oh, did you hear about the... I treat my vendors like people. I treat them like friends. I treat them like people that I'm going out to at a bar. I go, so what do you think of the drop in price in this? How's that affecting your business? Even if that's not something that relates to my business, I'm actually starting a dialogue with these people. If they're talking about their personal life, I may go on for maybe a 5-minute rant about my personal life, and we'll exchange thoughts and ideas on that. If one of them is getting married, I'll know and we'll discuss it. I was there to congratulate my iPhone part supplier when her boyfriend proposed to her. I was there to congratulate my laptop LCD screen supplier when she had her first child. And I even wound up sending one of them a card. They send me Christmas cards, not those lame-ass, crap that you get that's pre-printed for you, but I mean something that's actually printed out with even a couple of inside jokes thrown inside the box for me. I have a real relationship with these people, which is why they feel okay with giving me information. They feel okay telling me which warehouse will have something that I can get before everybody else gets it. They're okay with telling me, hey, this is A- right now. My boss doesn't want me to tell people that, but you should know before you buy it. And that's why I'm able to get shit at good prices before other people do. It's why they treat me like a human being, because I treat them like a human being. I put in the work to be treated like a human being by my suppliers. As a result, they give me that same courtesy. You don't get that courtesy by hitting buy it now, pay with PayPal, and checking out with somebody for the first time. When you do that, you are just another motherfucking order on a packing slip. And that's how you will be treated. Don't expect anything else. The second thing I want to talk about is how silly people are with the certainty that they expect that something will work when they get it. The certainty that something will arrive exactly on time. I can't tell you how many motherfuckers used the free shipping on eBay when they had a customer that was leaving to go to the airport, when they had a customer that was leaving the country, when they had a customer that was trying to get something in time for their kid's birthday. What is wrong with you? When I buy something off of eBay, I assume the worst. I don't know this motherfucker. I don't know if he's going to ship it on time. I don't know if something's going to go wrong when I'm buying only one part. And there are a lot of people that go, why even use eBay? What is the point in using eBay? It is a terrible bottom-feeding marketplace. And you know what? I agree with you. But if I need a little flex cable that goes between the trackpad board, the keypad board, and the motherboard on some 4.5-year-old PC that nobody has because it's sentimental to this customer, I'm probably not going to find that on a legitimate vendor's website. And if I do, they're going to want $90 or $80 for this cable, whereas somebody's selling it out of their used laptop that a customer left in their shop for $3 of free shipping on eBay. And I know where I'm going to be when I need that part. eBay. So I will buy it, but when I buy these things off eBay, I am realistic. I assume that something is going to go very fucking wrong. For example, if I need this cable to finish something, and it needs to be done immediately, I will buy it from 3 different people. I am dead serious here. That little $3 or $4 part, I'll buy it from this place in Florida, I'll buy it from this place in New York, and I'll buy it from a place in California. Because it's $3 or $4 from each, and I'm charging the customer $100 or something. I will prepare for failure. So when one of those motherfuckers doesn't have it in stock, and their channel advisor inventory or syncing system or whatever the fuck they use to keep track of their inventory decided to stop working, I'm not screwed. When one of them screws me, I'm still able to provide service to my customer because I thought ahead. And it's something that I wish other businesses did a little bit of. And if it's something that is not time sensitive, I'll tell them, I'm sorry, I cannot get this part from an approved vendors list. I will need to look elsewhere. It's going to take me probably a week, maybe a week and a half to get this done. When I know that I'm ordering this part from a vendor in Pennsylvania that's 200 miles away, from a vendor in upstate New York who's 40 miles away, I don't care. I'm giving myself a little bit of room to fail so that when everything doesn't go exactly as planned from this nameless whoever the fuck you are that I've never met before, I'm not screwed and I don't look like an idiot. The other thing I want to talk about is the certainty that these things will work. I cannot believe how many repair shops order one part at a time for repairs that they do every fucking day. I am so sick and tired of seeing a shop that goes just iPad repairs that would order one iPad screen from me every fucking day. What is wrong with you? How about you buy 2? So that maybe if the first one doesn't work, you have another one right there and you can go, oh, do you just like being yelled at by people? Do you just like making your life miserable? I don't get it. I don't know what it is. Maybe you're a glutton for punishment. Maybe you feel that you deserve to be punished because of something bad you've done in life. But I don't think so. I think maybe you should buy 2. Or if you're using this thing every day, dare I suggest it? Use that contact form on eBay or on the company's website and go, if I buy 10, can I get it for cheaper? And that part that you're paying $44 for may very well become $27. And now not only are you making people happier, but you're also putting money aside for your business, for yourself, for your family, whatever you want to spend money on. And I also want to talk about the idea that everything will work. This is not like a carpentry. You just go pick up wood and you bring it back and that wood is good. You need this much aluminum in this shape and you get it and it's good. We're talking about computer parts. Or even an LCD. This is a thing that has millions of little transistors in it. Millions of little transistors that make up each one of these little dots. And how dare you expect one part to be good when that thing with millions of transistors is being bammed and bopped and whatever the fuck across the entire US in a crappy box on its way to you? How dare you think that one motherboard is going to be perfect when you get it, when there's thousands of little transistors on this thing? It's probably been refurbished just because it's on eBay. And why are you buying a motherboard on eBay to begin with? That's another thing. For really important things, I don't mean like little wires and little random odds and ends that you're never going to find anywhere. For shit that is serious, for logic boards to Apple laptops, for LCD screens, what the fuck are you doing on eBay? Why are you going on eBay and buying a motherboard? I wouldn't buy a car from that guy who sells purses on 31st Street and Broadway in Manhattan, because I know better. And why is it that so many repair shop owners, for these high-priced repairs on valued items, will go dumpster diving through garbage, even when there's an actual budget, even when your customer agrees to pay $600 or $700 or $800? Go to a real vendor. You're actually going to pay a little bit less than you would on eBay, and you don't have to deal with buying shit that doesn't work. I'll say from experience that at least 50% of the motherboards that have ever been purchased off of eBay, back when I was stupid enough to do this, did not work because it's dumpster diving. The way most of these vendors work is they're pulling shit out of machines that are dead, never thinking that maybe the reason this piece of shit was dead is because the charging port is dead. Maybe the reason this piece of shit is in a garbage is because the motherboard is dead. Maybe the reason somebody threw this in a fucking e-waste bin is because the screen doesn't work. So maybe I shouldn't buy that screen used off of eBay. This is a sensitive industry. This is not an industry where you simply buy something and you expect that it work. I need you to realize that this is very sensitive components to very sensitive machinery. And I also want to talk a very small bit about the supply chain. This is not exactly 100% legitimate, when it comes to the supply chain. This is, for lack of a better way to say it, a fairly ghetto supply chain. This is not like Intel sells to distributor, distributor sells to Newegg sells to you. This shit goes through many fucking hands before it gets to you, even the grade A merchandise, because let me tell you, Apple does not exactly want it to be easy for you to get the LED screen that fits inside of their laptop. HP does not really make it easy for you to get a replacement motherboard to go inside of your laptop. This stuff, again, I'm not going to say that it's all stolen or back of a truck or blah, 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 but this stuff is hard to find, and a lot of the stuff is not made anymore. A lot of the stuff that people want me to fix is stuff that is not made anymore. How am I going to find a graphics chip for a machine that's 4 years old when that graphics chip stopped being produced 2 years ago? How am I going to find a screen that's fluorescently backlit when there haven't been fluorescent backlit screens produced for about 4 or 5 years now? How am I supposed to find a battery for a computer that was discontinued 7 years ago? It requires a little bit of ingenuity, and it requires a little bit of professional dumpster diving. And you need to stop seeing yourself as somebody that's just walking through Costco with this little push cart, taking these nice brand new items off the shelf, and start seeing yourself as a little bit of a dumpster diver. And you have to kind of look at this stuff, inspect this shit, and expect that some of the stuff that you're getting is going to be stuff that eventually doesn't work. And I need you to realize which one of the services, which one of the repairs you offer are repairs where there is a high risk of dealing with a lot of crap when you go to buy parts. I want you to realize that this one service that you offer is a service where when you go to buy parts, you are going to have problems with it. I want you to start to get this into your head and start to give customers an expectation level that allows you to do what you need to do to get the job done right without them calling every day to wonder why it's not done, and without them screaming because the first part that came in doesn't work. So let's recap a couple of the basic points. First point, trust. Vendors that see you as a name and a number are going to treat you like a name and a number. When you go on eBay, when you go on Amazon, you buy one item at a time and you go buy it now, you will be treated like shit by these vendors. And there is simply no way around it. You're going to have some vendors that treat you a little nicer, some vendors that treat you a little shittier, but if your expectation is that when you get something that doesn't work, that a standard overnight package will be sent to you with a return label inside for return of the bad part, you are out of your goddamn mind. You need to build relationships with real vendors to the point where they will actually do that with you for two reasons. A, they know they're going to get the bad shit back, and B, they actually want to please you. They actually want to help you because it's a two-way experience. It's not just you asking for shit and berating them for the price constantly. It's they want to provide you with better service because they like you, because they like doing business with you, because you make it easy to do business with them. Half of the time that I'm getting these amazing prices on a lot of the items that I'm getting amazing prices on, I'm not berating them for better prices. They're just offering it to me because they know I'm easy to do business with. They know that I'm not going to return shit that works. They know that I'm not going to stiff them on payment. They know that when they're dealing with me, that I'm not going to complain that I got the wrong part when I got sent the right part all along, and that when problems show up, I'll deal with them professionally and kindly. That I'm not going to ask a vendor to deliver something that they may not feel comfortable delivering. I want my vendors to be making money. I want them to be making money off everything they're doing with me, and I want them to be happy to do business with me. And when you act the same way with your vendors, you will see a lot of things start changing. You will start seeing a lot of emails, a lot of Skype messages coming your way for things that your competitor doesn't have access to. The second thing I wanted to talk about is setting your customers' expectations. You need to set people's expectations for certain repairs so that if you're expecting the part to show up on March 19th, you don't tell them that it's going to be done on March 19th. You don't even give them tracking information. Tracking information is for you. It is not for them. You know what happens when you tell somebody that it'll be done on March 19th when you're expecting the part on March 19th? You're going to get a nice big UPS sticker on your store that says, was not open at time of delivery. When your store says open from 10 to 8 and they showed up at 8:30 in the morning, and you're not going to be able to make it to UPS that day. That's what happens when you're running right up to the wire on everything. Don't do that to yourself. Give yourself a little bit of room so that you can fuck up a little. This is natural. I'm not saying tell everybody that things will take forever. I'm not saying misquote everybody on purpose, but give yourself a little room for when things don't go as planned. The third, if you have a deadline. If you have a deadline of having this done in 3 days, don't think to yourself, priority mail gets from California to New York in 2 to 3 days, and then get mad at the vendor when there's a fucking snowstorm at a sort facility and it doesn't get there. Order it with the express shipping. If this is a dirt cheap part where you're charging 80 bucks and the part is 50 cents or $1 or $2, buy that thing from 3 different vendors. A, you'll guarantee that you are going to get it when you need it. And B, dare I say it, you may actually need this thing again, and the $1 or $2 or $3 is not going to fucking kill you. And it makes you look better. 3, realize that in this business, in this specific business of laptop and cell phone repair, we are dealing with sensitive products. We are dealing with very delicate, very high-tech shit that is very apt to breaking and chipping, that is very apt to simply not working for any strange reason at any given time. Realize that this is not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, people would not be coming to you. I get so tired when somebody gets a bad part and they're like, fuck, this is not how it's supposed to be. Goddamn vendor, when a bad part. Sometimes parts are bad. Don't expect that one tiny little device that costs $30, that has millions of transistors in it that you can't even fucking see, is going to be perfect every time you receive it. Prepare for failure. Whether it's in how you set up your supply chain, how you deal with the customer, whatever it is, set yourself up mentally to be prepared for shit to come in that doesn't work. And set yourself up to not have a complete and utter fucking temper tantrum every time this happens. And if I haven't already mentioned it in other videos, and I haven't already mentioned it in this video, although I'm sure I did, keep some fucking stock for yourself. Don't be the fucking jackass that says we only fix Blackberries that doesn't have a screen for a Curve 8330 in 2009. Don't be a dumbass. Stock inventory. Inventory is power. Inventory is legitimacy. It doesn't matter how many licenses, how much insurance, how many employees, how much money the enemy shop has. If you have a part in stock and can tell somebody, I can do this job in 1 hour, and they have to tell somebody, I can do this job in 1 week, you in your basketball shorts with no real business, working out of your apartment, have just become legitimate than the retail store with the slick-dressed employees in the nice office. It really sets you apart when you can offer instant service. And a part of this is having good supplier relations. A part of this is keeping good inventory. Treat your suppliers like family. Treat them well, and you will be treated the same way by them. You will receive VIP treatment that you can then pass on to your customers. Management and dealing with inventory is a lot more than just getting on people's cases all the time and staying on track of things in spreadsheets. A lot of it is the human connection that you have with the people that you're doing business with. The human connection I have with the people I do business with is what allows me to do business the way I do it. I would have not been able to have started a business with no money. I would have not have been able to maintain it and grow it and actually succeed at it if I didn't have the suppliers that I do now. And I'm very, very grateful that when I need a motherboard to arrive here in 2 days, that right after I get off of this video at 3 in the morning, I can Skype somebody and have this $800 motherboard delivered in 2 days and not pay for it for a week and a half. I like having suppliers where when I need to get a retina screen, when every single one of these assemblies on eBay is going for $400, I can email somebody right now, and in 2 days at my store door, I'm going to have 10 of these for $2,000 when the retail price for it is $425 or $500. This is the kind of stuff that separates the smaller unprofessional businesses from the people who are making it. And I want you to realize that supplier relations is a lot more than what you think.